good, YouTube? It's Shockwave bringing you a gameplay here from Battlefield 3. It's me and Jeremy playing Rush on Caspian border. In case you don't know what Rush is and you're new to the series, it's similar to Demolition from Call of Duty, except you have 3 kind of like separate maps you have to play throughout the gameplay, because you're kind of like moving from one area to the next and the next, and after the 3rd map kind of area, you're done with the game. You either win or you lose. You have tickets, which are kind of like lives, or they're attempts, and once those run out, you're done. You know, so you might not make it past the first level part of the map. You might make it all the way. It just kind of depends. As you see here, instead of being called bombs, they're called MCOMs. Whenever I learned about the game, you know, it said it's supposed to be team-based, team, whatever. But with the squad system, a lot of times I feel like it's my squad playing and no one else really doing anything. I feel like, you know, I'm pretty much always the person running to try to plant the MCOMs. Probably 90% of the time, you know, Jeremy gets some in there, so does Brian. And whenever Barger plays with us, he does too. But usually I'm the one that's always just trying to sprint in there and get them planted quick, get them out of the way. The only vehicle I really like to use is the tank. You know, I'll use the AAV, that kind of stuff too, the LAV, whatever it is. But when it comes to the jets and helicopters, which you'll see later on in the match, I'm not really good with them. The other day, me and Brian were playing, and I kept on stealing the jet, and he kept on getting pissed off, because usually I just kind of suicide bomb, but it's definitely a suicide bomb, because I don't kill anybody else with it. But that's kind of my tip to you all, I guess, is if you suck at the vehicles, even if they look cool and you want to do it, don't do it. Let someone else actually knows what they're doing, use the vehicles. The tanks and stuff, you know, a lot of times me and Jeremy, oh, Twitter message there, from Jeremy actually. A lot of times me and Jeremy will hop in the tank together. Sometimes, you know, Brian will start off in it, but he's not really big into the vehicles unless it's like a jet. You see here the A bomb or MCOM, whatever it's called, you know, it's planted down. I get a person right there. I hear I get this guy, and I'm like, alright. And all of a sudden, you're going to see here, I die. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I realized I got ran over by a tank. Like, really? Ran over by a tank. You know, I usually don't like to talk about the gameplays as much anymore. I try to get some other content out, but I figured, you know, it's the first Battlefield video. It'd be good to, you know, bring you some content and some commentary about the game. Another thing about the game, the team deathmatch spawn system is pretty sketchy, which I'm going to bring you a video probably tomorrow on that, and you'll kind of see that. You know, sometimes you'll spawn right in front of somebody, and that's kind of irritating. But another thing I'm going to say here is, you know, you have 4 types of classes in Battlefield, basically, and you have Assault, which is like a medic class. You know, you can heal people, revive them, that kind of thing. You have an Engineer class, which is good, you know, if you're going to be a vehicle person. I hear you're going to see me wreck the shit out of this thing in about 10 seconds. But the Engineer class is good, you know, if you have a vehicle map, and you can repair the vehicles. There's other different things you can use, like the little transport thing, which I'm terrible at too, so I just keep the little blowtorch. You have an ammo class, which is a support class, which I really don't use that often unless I just see my team's just terrible, so I'm just trying to help people out with ammo, or if I see I'm running with a bunch of medics. And then you have the recon class, which for my recon class, I don't use it as a sniper. Here's the crashing of that. I usually use like a UMP-45 or something like that, you know, just rank it up a little bit easier. But as I mentioned earlier, you know, when you're a squad leader, you can, you know, mark targets to go attack. You can mark people on the map. Anybody can mark people, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. Use the select button on PlayStation. I'd say it's probably the same on Xbox as well. But just in case you're new to that, push the select button. You see people far off in the distance. You know, it helps your team out. Right there, I was gonna blow that up, and I realized there's nobody in there, and that's not even the right building. It's the next one. So go over here and get this MCOM planted as well. But like this map is a huge map, so I use the Engineer class. That way, you know, I can, you know, repair the vehicles, that kind of thing. As you see, like I cycle through weapons and buttons all the time because I get confused from Call of Duty. And then when I switch back to Call of Duty, I'm like almost pooping on myself because I forget which button layout I'm using, or it's just because the frames per second is so much faster. I had a time actually trying to get this to record at first because I didn't realize that Battlefield was only in 720p, and I had the wrong setting selected, so I was kicking it back down to 480. I was like, I'm not going to post a video with that kind of quality. But then I finally figured it out, so it's all good. So hopefully, you know, the quality looks good for you guys as well. I put a new intro up. Tell me what you think about that, because I really played around with that at work for like 3 hours last night, trying to figure out, you know, if I want like a music clip or, you know, whatever. But you see, like right here I was talking about earlier, me and Jeremy here in a tank. And spot people here forever trying to figure out where the tank went, and this other guy here. Eventually we get up there and you're going to see the tank actually end up being destroyed anyway. Another thing you're going to notice is I go from topic to topic really quick. I think I'm kind of ADD, but most gamers are. I think we all know that. I wanted to actually comment over a shorter video, but if you've played Battlefield, you realize most of the gameplays are pretty long. So it's about 10 minutes or so. And another thing, originally I actually did a live comm over this, and I wasn't really happy with it. I felt like I didn't talk enough, but it was just me and Jeremy. And a lot of times the chat is broken up here in the servers as of now. Hopefully that gets fixed. I've heard some things that, I guess today, which is Tuesday, I've heard some things that are already supposed to be fixed. So I'm going to get on and play that here a little bit and see what's up. But yeah, I just wasn't really happy with the live comment over top of it. I don't know if it's just me and Jeremy not talking enough or just me or whatever, but I listened to my part first before even watching the video with it. And I don't know, just didn't like it. But as you see, like, when you knife somebody from behind or whatever in this game, it's pretty badass, you know. You just kind of come behind it because like a slow-mo. But it can be very annoying whenever you're playing, like, aggressive, because if you're in like a group of people and you knife somebody, you're taking like 3 to 4 seconds to knife that person, and by that point one of his teammates is already shooting you, and you're kind of like, well, shit. Right there I killed Brian, you see. I think he actually kills me more in this game than I kill him, but that's alright. I didn't upload the second half of this video because if you've played Battlefield, or even if you haven't, the new thing about this, the way it works is you'll play like the offensive side, and the game's over, you win or lose, and then instead of going to another map and playing, you go over the defense to the next map and you play that way. So it's kind of cool, the fact that you kind of have to play both. But we have noticed a few times, we've played offense like 3 or 4 times in a row, and it's kind of like, should we play defense? Real quick on this part, I was just stupid. I see somebody coming, it ends up being Brian. But I tried to kill him, and it was just dumb. He ends up killing me pretty easily. I think we don't get the plant here. We might. Yeah, I think we got it. So this was the second stage of the map. And the next part, the third stage is coming up. See right here, I'm cycling through, trying to pick my spawn, because I didn't want to spawn all the way back at the very beginning, because it just takes forever to get somewhere. And that's just irritating and frustrating. But luckily I ended up getting right here. So it's pretty close, didn't have to go too far. I'm debating on what to do here. I'm like, I guess I'll do it. So I hop in, and I just kind of blast the gun around a little bit. Like I said earlier, if you're good with the vehicles, go for it. If you're not, don't do it. It's just really, really pointless, because you're just going to crash it, or you're just going to go up there and you're just not helping your team. And they're fun as shit to fly around, don't get me wrong. But if you're just going to fly around like this guy, he's kind of flying around in circles, it's not doing any good. I'm looking around, there's nobody there because he's not in the right part of the map. You can kind of see some people now. But, a lot of times you see right here, there's, what, 5 people up in this helicopter? What are we doing? How are you going to help your team with everybody up in the helicopter? You can't. And I guess that's probably been my most frustrating thing at Battlefield so far, because it's 12 on 12 action for this stuff. And a lot of times I feel like it's, the 3 or 4 of us that are in my, squad doing everything, and we're constantly asking ourselves, what are our teammates doing? Because it's always us playing. I seriously probably plant 3 to 4 of the MCOMs per map. And I don't know why. I have no idea why it's me. I mean, sometimes, or it's somebody from my team, my squad, and no one else is doing anything. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I guess my tip to you all is help your teammates out. Use the select button, to tag people, tag your targets, try to be around the MCOMs, that kind of thing. If you're going to be in the vehicles, be good at it. Don't just do it because it looks cool. You're not being cool by doing it. So yeah, that's my tip to you all for that part. As you see right here, I'm going to get in a jet, basically just to kind of show you how pointless it is, again. Which I was telling Jeremy during the thing, I almost thought about making a series on things not to do, basically, because there's a lot of series out there on how to help gamers, on, tips and tricks, that kind of thing, nade spots, but no one ever says, don't do this, this is stupid. So I was like, maybe I could do a series on that, so maybe if you all like that, just tell me about it. But you see, a lot of times I'll fly the jets in third-person view, or if I'm driving like one of the Humvees, I'll do it in third person. I think it's a little bit easier. And you see I'm having trouble turning here. I almost hit him, but I missed him. I don't know what happened. I'm having trouble turning there, and then later on in the next match, Brian actually told me, if you let off the trigger, it's easier to turn, so I figured that out in the next match. I'm actually getting a lot better at flying these things. I usually do it just for fun, though. We're on the last stage. We had a lot of attempts left. So I was just kind of goofing off, and you're going to see I'm getting ready to commit suicide, like always. But this was a bad one. I think I ran into something. Yep, damn. But whatever. A lot of the things about the game are pretty cool, though. With the dog tags, you can customize your classes, everything like that. There's a lot of good things about the game, and hopefully, you know, in the upcoming weeks, you know, after they kind of get over the, you know, the release phase of the game, you know, all the games have the trouble with. They really get a lot of things fixed to make the game a pretty good game to play. And as you see, I'm trying to get in the tank. Me and Jeremy are like, let us in. We can't catch up. But whatever, we run up there and we win. You see, we win the match here. Gameplay's coming to an end. You're gonna, my bad guys, click the record button off a little early. Went 11-7. Thanks for all the support. Peace out.